Have you ever felt like you were giving everything to your relationship only to have your partner pull away? What if I told you that the key to getting him to care more has nothing to do with trying harder, but actually caring less? Sounds counterintuitive, right? Maybe even a little bit cold and heartless. Well, stick around because I'm going to show you why this approach can actually bring you closer than ever and how you can do it with love and kindness. Hi, beautiful souls. Mireille Nicole here, relationship coach for high achieving women. If you've ever found yourself giving your all in a relationship only to feel like it's driving your partner away, this video is for you. I've been there too. I used to think that the more I gave and did for my husband, the closer we'd become. But I quickly realized that this wasn't the case. I was overcaring, and that was actually creating distance between us. And what I didn't know at the time was that I was stuck in a codependent pattern. And the key to changing everything was in learning how to detach with love and focus on myself. By the way, I have an emotional detachment cheat sheet that you can download for free. I'll link to it below for you. So in this video, I'm going to explain three main reasons why men start to care when you stop caring, and how making this shift in your approach can actually bring you closer than ever before. But first, when I say stop caring, what I really mean is detaching in a way that's kind and compassionate and healthy. For me, caring had become an obsession. I was constantly thinking about my partner, trying to meet his needs, and putting his happiness above my own. And this actually came up quite recently in my relationship where my husband was kind of like, sharing openly how he felt. And I realized that again, I was falling into this over caring pattern. So this video and the timing of this video is super close to my heart because it seems like every time I have something to share with you guys, it's actually something that's happening in my own life and something that I also need to remind myself of. So back then, I would justify it by saying that it was love, but in fact, it was my anxious attachment style at the time. I was feeling really insecure back then and unsure about our future together because we were struggling as a couple, and I didn't have the tools and the knowledge that I do now to give me the confidence I needed to help us get through it. So I thought that if I just gave more of myself, he'd be more likely to commit, more likely to open up, and more likely to show me love. But the reality was, the more I poured into him, the more distant he became. And I couldn't understand it at first. Like, how could loving him so much make him pull away? And it's funny because recently my husband and I were at our cottage and we were just chilling on a Sunday, I think it was. And my husband actually pulled up like some old text that I had sent back in like 2018, and we put it through Notebook LM, and we actually listened to an AI podcast diagnose my anxious attachment style back in the day, my neediness, my over caring, so to speak. So it was really funny to see that in hindsight, and knowing what I know now, I can see all the areas where I was doing it wrong. So it did take me a while to realize that I was stuck in this codependent pattern because I was focused on trying to control and save the relationship by over caring, and I was forgetting about myself. And I had unknowingly developed an anxious attachment style, which meant I was constantly seeking reassurance from my partner and validation from him, even at the expense of my own well being. My sense of self worth was tied up in his actions, and this created an imbalance in our relationship. And the more I tried to care and fix things, the more it pushed him away. And I realize now it wasn't love, it was actually neediness. And the turning point for me actually came when I realized I had to stop over identifying with my partner's feelings and really start focusing on my own. I needed to get back to taking care of myself. And it was actually during a pivotal moment in an argument that we had that this really hit me. I realized that I wasn't being myself anymore. I had lost myself in the relationship, in this anxious attachment style that I had and in this over caring. And finding myself again didn't mean that I needed to abandon him or be cold, right? But it meant detaching with love. So I began focusing again on my own happiness, interest, and personal growth. And I gave myself permission to live for me instead of constantly living for him or for us as a couple. And guess what? That's when things began to change. And as soon as I started shifting my focus to myself, I noticed a shift in how my partner responded to me. Suddenly, he was more interested again. He was more attentive. He was more engaged in our relationship, and he was pursuing me again. And here's the kicker: we were still just dating at the time. And after 7 years together, there had been like no proposal in sight. In fact, he had been pretty clear about never wanting to get married. And I had grown used to the idea that marriage might never happen for us. But once I started focusing on my own life and my own needs again, I felt this sense of inner peace and security. And I wasn't waiting for him to define my happiness or my future. And then out of nowhere, that's when he proposed. After 7 years of no talk of marriage, I finally felt secure again in myself. And that was exactly when he started acting like he was ready to commit or being ready to commit, right? To the point where now we're happily married, 3 years and counting. So when I stopped over investing emotionally and started focusing on myself, he finally started caring more, so to speak. And I say this was not a coincidence. It was the result of me healing myself and shifting the dynamic in our relationship. Now, let's talk about 3 reasons men start to care when you stop caring. Number one, he can get back to the chase. Men are wired to pursue. It's part of their biological and psychological makeup. When you're always available, constantly chasing him or trying to fix things, it removes the sense of mystery and intrigue that fuels attraction. It's like a game of tug of war where like only one person is pulling. Attraction really thrives when there's a little bit of space, there's something to chase and some mystery to it. And when you stop caring so much, meaning you stop needing him to be the only source of your happiness, he feels the shift. Suddenly there's a challenge again. There's something for him to pursue. And this chase reignites the passion and the excitement in the relationship. Now, it's not about playing games. It's about allowing the relationship to unfold in the way that keeps the fire alive. Men love the thrill of the chase because it makes them feel achievement, which we'll talk in number two, and also needed. And it keeps them coming back for more. And just like a really simple thing I start to do to get him back to the chase whenever we feel like, there's too much caring is I start planning, more outings with my girlfriends. I start pursuing my habits more, my hobbies. I start working out more again and being more consistent and really focusing on my health and doing stuff out of self-love. It's not to be cold or to push him away. It's doing all these things that make me high value and even more attractive in his eyes. Number two, there's something to achieve. So this is kind of similar to number one, and I mentioned achievement, but men have this inherent need to feel like they can succeed at something, especially in a relationship, and actually in many areas of life. So when you stop caring so much and pull back a little bit, you're giving him an opportunity to win you over again. You're no longer just handing him your affection or your attention on a silver platter. Instead, you're creating space for him to step up and earn your affection. Now, this isn't manipulation. There's no negative intent here. You're not trying to hurt him or anyone. It's all positive intention, and it's just a natural dynamic. Men want to feel like they're contributing to your happiness. When they have, to work a little bit harder to make you smile or get your attention, it satisfies their need for achievement. And you don't have to get taken for granted, right? He'll appreciate you even more. It boosts their self-esteem and it makes them feel like they're adding value to your life. And guess what? When he feels the sense of accomplishment, he'll work even harder to make sure you stay happy. And that's what creates the deeper sense of devotion and being cherished that all of us women crave. And when he feels like he's been able to win your heart, it solidifies his commitment. See what happened with me with the proposal? And it creates a stronger bond together. Now, you have to get this right, otherwise it'll just push him further away. So make sure you always reward his efforts. That's what's going to make him want to continue achieving and chasing you. All right, number three, he'll fall deeper in love with you. And this is where the magic happens. When you stop overgiving and start showing up as a secure, self-confidence person who doesn't need a partner to feel complete, just desires a partner, you become more attractive to him in a way that he can't even ignore. You become high value. And it's like the more you let go of the outcome, the more you can both fully experience the relationship for what it is in the moment. Again, when done right, when you show up with love, but not neediness, that's when he'll fall deeper in love with you because you're no longer a source of constant reassurance for his ego. Instead, you're a source of peace, of stability, and of mutual growth and true partnership. Your sense of self-worth doesn't depend on him or your relationship, and that creates a powerful dynamic where both of you can flourish individually and as a couple. Again, it's not about playing games, it's about aligning with your true self and creating that balance and fostering a secure and healthy relationship. And when both partners are secure in themselves, the relationship can be more loving, more passionate, and more fulfilling. In the end, detaching with love, so focusing on yourself and your own growth and your own happiness, is the key to getting your partner to care more. And it's not about withdrawing love or affection or punishing your partner in any way, but about finding your own center and getting out of that codependency and allowing him or giving him the space to invest in you. When you stop trying so hard, he'll realize just how valuable you are, and he'll begin to pursue you with even more intensity. And that's when the real magic happens. So if you're tired of feeling frustrated and overinvested in your relationship, try pulling back a little bit with love and compassion and watch the dynamic change. Make sure to download my free cheat sheet on emotional detachment if you haven't done so yet, so you can have the exact steps and a good reminder of what you need to do to stop caring so much so that he can care more. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Now watch this video next.